Are you stepping to Elmo? Elmo's a pimp!
Welcome back to Fantasy Sports Island. Guys, thank you for hitting that like button last week for our Halloween show. Turned out to be a good success. And now we're all back on the island again tonight. We got Johnny freaking Ballgame.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
We got Tony Sir Poops a lot. And we got the Fantasy Rolls Royce.
That guy is wherever he is.
I'm the Fantasy Reaper. Welcome you back to the show. Guys, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We do this every week, so you want to get notified. We're about to get another show for you tonight. We got a new segment for this week. We're at the halfway point. We're hitting week 9 of the NFL, which means we have our halfway fantasy MVPs, fantasy comeback player, fantasy rookie of the year, and fantasy busts for the halfway point of the football season, and we're going to break those out in a little while. So if you guys are ready to go, should we get to it?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to start tonight with some fantasy nicknames. Tony, we're just going to keep this short and simple. I'm going to break out a few. You can break out a few, and then we'll move on from this segment.
Yeah, man, I've been running out, but I got one on top. This is very simple, not that good, but Dalvin stunk. That's how I feel after last week.
He did, Steve. How about Kenneth Gain Less?
Oh,
Nice.
that's good.
Well played.
How about James the Connors? And I say that because you guys know I wouldn't draft that. I hate James Connors, but he had a good game, and I still think he's the con.
You know who had a good game that kind of came out of nowhere? Amari Snooper.
Yeah, he did. I got a sad one. Von Voyage Miller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Broke everybody in Denver's heart.
Yep.
How about out in Tampa Bay? Finally, severed fourth net. Actually, severed fourth nut.
Ouch.
I got nothing left. Keep going, Chuck.
That was good.
Well, in Washington, Terry McSnorin.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Or how about in LA for the Chargers, Syke Williams?
Killed me this week.
How about TJ shocking me, son? He
Yeah.
came through.
Number 1 this week.
TJ, 10 catches. What? And I got one more. And this is for you Cowboys fans that were all worried and paranoid. Oh my God, Dak's not going to play. How about Cooper Shush?
Nice. Do you know what? Doesn't Cooper Rush, though, look like he's like Andy Dalton's weird cousin? Like they're both these redheaded guys. It's all furry. They both look like Elmo. Like you think they're out there like, oh, Elmo loves throwing passes to Amari Cooper. Oh, Elmo said he loved. He's really good.
That's so weird. That's so creepy, but I could see it.
Oh, Johnny.
That
That was
good.
funny. That was great.
Weird things in my head.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next segment. Here we go.
News and notes around the NFL.
This is the most important segment for this week, and it is news and notes around the NFL. And that's because we had a ton of news break this week. And let's start with the first one. This one was the sad one. Derrick Henry broke his foot, most likely out for the year. So the Tennessee Titans, in response, they go out and get the old man. And Tony, we've been talking about this all year. We said he'd come back, and here he is, Adrian Peterson to the Titans. I'm going to start with you, Tony. What do you think of all this? Tell me how you feel about the Derrick Henry thing and how you feel about them signing Adrian Peterson.
Well, first of all, as a football fan, I'm literally brokenhearted. He's to me the most exciting player right now to watch. Even if you're not a Titans fan, you got to enjoy watching Henry. He's a tremendous running back. He's a beast, and it's exciting. So yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's got to be for him, the fans, the Titans in general. I think they can rebound, and I think they'll be all right. And this is going to be the first year that I'm not counting out Adrian Peterson. Hey man, they called him in for a reason. Obviously, he still has some spunk, or probably can get it over the goal line. So the past couple of years, I'm like, don't pick up Adrian Peterson. And I see Chuck or somebody going, I'm like, I'll grab him, and then he gets 3 touchdowns. Like, so I think it's Johnny this time. Who grabbed him in our league? Johnny. No, you're gonna play him. So hey, you know what? At this point, I'm
not playing him this week, but
yeah. Who are they playing this week?
The Rams.
Doesn't matter. I'm still not playing him this week. Yeah.
We'll see. They grabbed him for a reason. Somebody knows what they're doing.
Yep.
John, what do you think? You think this is going to work for him?
Yeah. So you guys know I live in Tennessee, and I will say that the state was wearing black in mourning for the fact that Derrick Henry went down. But I think what you're going to find is that Tannehill gets to be a little bit more Tannehill. I think he's going to be better. I think your receivers, I think Julio Jones, and I know that's going to kill you, Royce, is actually going to pick it up a little bit. I think AJ is going to keep being AJ, and we've started to see the real AJ now healing up. And my God, was he freaking awesome this last week. I think Adrian will do okay. I think he's going to have a pretty good back half of the year. He's not going to do anything close to what Henry can do, but between him and then McNichols? Jeremy McNichols. I think they will be fine. I actually think they may be a more balanced team because I think they'll throw a little bit better. But even the last 2 weeks, they've been doing that, right? I mean, if you looked at Henry's rushing totals the last 2 weeks, they weren't crazy off the charts and his rushing attempts. So I think they'll be fine. I think they'll be good.
If you have Ryan Tannehill, rejoice, because now they're going to have to air it out. It's time to let him loose. They're gonna open up the offense a little bit more, because you can't rely on AP to carry the ball 30 times like Derrick Henry did. It's just not going to happen. This guy's, on the wrong side of 30. He's been in the league a long time. He's got his nicks and bruises as well. So I think they're going to bring him along slowly. I think Jeremy McNichols is a good pickup as well, because I think he's going to get some targets out of the backfield, especially on passing downs. So I'm interested to see how Tannehill does. A lot of us have Tannehill as our backup quarterback. Now we're going to see the offense open up for him. Okay? Yeah. Royce, do you agree?
I agree. Let's hope. Go Tannehill to AJ Brown. I'm sorry, Arthur Juan Brown.
And no Julio.
Arthur Juan.
No Julio. Come on.
No Julio. Nobody wants to see that shit.
No, it's not 2014.
I feel like Tony does.
Yeah, no, it's not that. I wanted to interject on the Tannehill thing. This is a little off course, but so I have Tannehill as a backup in a few leagues. And 2 of my leagues, I have Mahomes and Herbert, and Tannehill is my backup for both of them. And I'm literally going to two of the top QBs, and I'm going, should I put in Tannehill for now on?
Yeah.
I'm at that decision right now. Like, it's
Mahomes is bad right now, so
yeah,
good story.
Herbert too. Ooh.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes just a little later in the show, so let's save that topic. Let's talk about some more injuries that happened. We need to touch on Jameis Winston on the Saints. He went down on it was kind of a horse collar tackle. It wasn't by the neck though; it was by the shoulder, so it was a legal play. But on the play, he tore his ACL. He's out for the year. So a little bit sad about that, because actually Jameis Winston was having his most efficient season of his career. He was not turning the ball over. So I want to ask you, Johnny, does that mean that Taysom Hill is a thing again?
I think it does, but I will say this: Trevor Siemian looked pretty good. I mean, he came in through for $159, a touchdown, helped beat the Buccaneers, helped beat Tom Brady. And granted, it was the defense that helped beat the Buccaneers, but he did enough and looked pretty good in a Sean Payton offense. And Taysom Hill has never really looked like that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I picked up Taysom Hill because even though I hated him when I had Kamara as my quarterback, and I do have Kamara on one of my teams, the guy puts up points when he's the quarterback. He runs, he scores touchdowns. So from a fantasy level, if he does become quarterback, he'll put up some points. He's not a bad backup to have.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. James Robinson sprained his ankle, missed most of the game. They say he's good to go for next week, though, so it should be minor. Want to talk about Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray also sprained his ankle. He is questionable for next week. Royce, do you think Kyler Murray is going to miss a game or two? And do you think this will affect his numbers?
Yes, I hope he misses a game. Who do they play this week? Arizona?
That's a good question.
I want to say the Niners. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think so.
Niners, yeah.
Oh,
I think
Love
that does
it.
sound right.
love the Niners. Murray's out. I mean, who's their backup? Colt McCoy? Please.
You know,
Is he
honestly,
80?
I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that
And
either.
You have to be a nerd to know that.
Yeah. Well,
Ask me what I had for lunch yesterday. No, I don't know. But I know that Colt McCoy is the backup for the Cardinals.
right. But we are the fantasy nerds. This is what makes the show so fun.
We are.
It's a good point.
I hope he's not out just for fan purposes, right? I mean, he's very exciting. He's fun to watch, unless you're going against him and you're like, yeah. No, but
I have a feeling Johnny doesn't have fun watching him, though.
he did have a bad game last week, ball game.
Yeah.
I did giggle a little bit to myself
He
watching
was
it.
a little pooey last week, but then
Just
he,
a
you
little.
know,
Just a little bit. I was like,
but
oh,
I mean, they're what? They're six.
that's
they're
who I
6-1.
thought he was.
Yeah, they're 6-1. They can do what they did with the Cowboys with Dak. Yeah, you know, just take a break. It's okay.
While we're on that topic, what in the F was AJ Green doing? That should have been a touchdown to win the game. He doesn't even turn around and the ball gets picked. I mean, that is just.
Well, that's
He said he didn't hear the play.
I don't care. You need
I
to
know.
know.
You still look
Why
for
would
the
you be
ball.
running?
And your
Why
back
would
is
you be
still
running?
turned in the end zone.
Yeah.
yeah. He didn't think he was part of the play, and he's only been there for about 5 minutes too. Maybe I don't know.
I know, but it's the last play of the game. You still look back and see if your quarterback's in trouble.
But
There's
still,
no excuse.
right.
No
Hell,
excuse.
Not looking for the ball
No
in the end zone.
excuse.
Still hell of an
Fourth down
interception.
and overtime.
Yeah.
Last
His
bit of
brain- His brain was off somewhere in the clouds, I guess. Anyway, go ahead, man.
yeah. Last bit of injury news. Christian McCaffrey appears to be back. He's supposed to practice this week, and they say he's going to play. So are we excited?
No,
You don't have any McCaffrey.
no.
I have no shares of McCaffrey.
I have 0. But I mean, we've seen this movie before. Give me 3 games in a row, Christian, and
Yeah.
we'll be excited.
I agree.
Yep.
I have him in the
somewhere.
league. I'd rather him go out. I think the bye week. Don't they have a bye week in a couple weeks?
Yeah.
I'd rather him just come back in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I've gone this long. I want to make sure he's super healed. But I
Not
don't.
me, man. I mean, you just had 3 weeks off on the IR. If you're not super healed by now, you never will. Might as well just shut it down for the year. I want to see him get back out there. I want to see him get back to being Christian McCaffrey. I have him in Dynasty, and I'd like to see him put up those RB1 numbers. Come on, let's go.
They're off bye week is until the week 13 anyway, so that'd be a while.
Yeah, that's too
Okay.
late.
Okay.
He'll be hurt by then, Chuck. So he'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll need that
Thanks,
extra
man.
week.
Yeah,
Appreciate
he
it.
probably will be off until after.
You're a
the bye
good
week,
guy.
so-
Thank you.
Go out on a limb, Royce. Jeez.
Yeah, right.
All right,
Hot take.
let's talk about some roster moves. First of all, the big one to me, Von Miller gets traded from the Broncos to the Rams. Now, a couple things are interesting about this to me. First of all, the rich get richer. The Rams have a good defense, and now they have Von Miller opposite of the best defensive player in the league that they already have. I mean, this defense should be tits, T-I-T-S. All right. The second
Wow.
thing, here's the
It's been a
second
while
thing.
since I've heard that reference. I want to make sure we all know.
My dad used to say that in the 60s. Go ahead.
Double D's. Double D's.
Dating myself here. But the second thing that's interesting to me is the Broncos traded their best defensive player.
I was more interested in. I agree.
So now I'm thinking, okay, now that we've kind of halfway given up on the season, even though they won this week, I don't think they think they're a championship contender. It might be time to unleash Javonte Williams like we were hoping.
I thought they would trade Melvin Gordon to the Titans. Quite frankly, I thought for sure that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So did I.
Yeah, that made
Well,
sense.
maybe that was just wishful thinking.
Maybe.
It was. But so are the Rams the best defense in the league now? I want to know. Tony,
Yes.
what do you think?
Absolutely. Hands down. Absolutely.
Better than Buffalo? Royce, better than Buffalo?
Let's get back to Miller real quick. I know we haven't watched a ton of Bronco games this year, but I haven't heard his name called once. I mean, he's 32 years old. He's not the 2015 or whatever when he won the Super Bowl MVP. I mean, he's a good pickup. I don't think he's the same guy he used to be. He's not, but new change of venue, new home, better team, get the juices going a little bit.
New fuel.
Yeah, we'll see.
Also, maybe he's not as good as he used to be, but look what JJ Watt did for the Cardinal defense.
Absolutely.
He demands attention. He demands double teams. That opens up stuff for the rest of the linemen there.
Yeah, for about 5 minutes. Isn't he out now? Of course he is.
Yeah, McCaffrey. He's another injury-prone guy, so we'll see. Yeah. Now, while the Rams traded for Von Miller, they ended up cutting Deshaun Jackson. It's not big news. We know Deshaun wanted a trade. He's not getting the looks he wanted there. But the Rams just cut him. I mean, what do we think? Is Deshaun Jackson's career over, or is he going to fall into someone else's lap and play again?
He might go with somebody who's got some injuries. He might still go there. He might maybe be useful. Royce thinks he's bye-bye. So
here's my prediction. He's going to go to Kansas City.
Ooh. I like that.
He's gonna give Hill a break. He's a long threat. Kelsey will get more looks now. Where the hell's Kelsey been? That's all. We'll talk about that later. But
it's terrible.
I think that opens up a ton.
Save this topic because I want to talk about this later. Yeah, for sure.
Can I say something about the Rams though?
Yes.
I think Van Jefferson. Right? Is that guy's name? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we start seeing a lot more of that guy.
He had a nice game last week. Wow.
Yeah.
He's just been sneaky, getting in there about every other game, and then now he's had a couple pretty good games in a row, I think. That's a guy that I'm looking at.
This is why Deshaun Jackson was pissed, because Vaughn was getting his run. Let's not sugarcoat it. Van Jefferson, sorry. He's the guy playing the Deshaun Jackson role that he hoped to play with the Rams.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that's why he wanted out. All right, and then we had a couple more moves. Real quick, Jalen Smith got released by Green Bay. I believe it's his second year, so they kind of gave up on him early. What do you think, John?
No, this was his second game.
Second game.
He got released from Dallas this year.
That's right. That's what it was.
They picked him up. They kept him for 2 games and went, no, thank you. This guy is 2 years into a $65 million extension from Dallas and just got cut from his second team in 3 weeks.
Wow.
What's up there?
Wow, what's going on there? Cancer, sounds like.
Also, there was another trade, and this one involves the Chiefs. So Melvin Ingram used to be on the Chargers. Their linebacker was on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh trades him to Kansas City. Kansas City played pretty good defensively last night.
Yeah,
do we think this helps them? It was the Giants. But the Chiefs, actually, the last couple games, have played pretty good defense.
I think
yeah. I can't hurt them, right? I mean, geez.
Right.
Yeah, why not? We'll see. I think they have more problems on offense.
What I thought was weird about it or interesting about it is he was kind of a big free agent pickup for Pittsburgh, right? And here we are now, week 9, and they're like, yeah, you can have him. So I don't know what went on there. I don't know if he ever really quite got it. I know he got, he kind of got there late because they picked him up late in the summer and all that stuff. So I don't know. I didn't watch enough Pittsburgh defense to know if he was adding any value there or not. But I did think it was interesting that 9 weeks in, they're like, he's gone.
And attitude. He's got a little bit of an attitude issue, I think. So that doesn't help.
Yeah.
That's a good
All
point.
right, Tony, we're going to talk about this topic. This is the last news note for the NFL here. I wanted to save it for last because it happened while I was on a flight to Florida, so I didn't get the whole story, but I've heard about it. But I want to get your take on it. Tell me what you know about it and how you feel about it. Henry Ruggs gets charged with a felony DUI. He was in an accident. Obviously, there was some kind of alcohol or drugs involved, and somebody died. Tell me what you know.
I think it was about 3:30 in the morning, Vegas time. They're saying right now DUI or drinking and driving. Was it 2 cars I think that were involved, and a female died in the other car, and I think he had a passenger with him. I don't know much about the passenger. It's something that we've heard before, we've seen before. It's very unfortunate. Happens all the time in this country, but it's sometimes more difficult to hear it when it comes down to a professional football player, sportsman of all sorts, when they have everything in the world to not only risk personally, but they have the means to not get put into a compromising situation like that, and they continue to make poor choices. I'm saying they because there's been more people than just Ruggs over the years, and then an innocent person loses their life. So it's a really sad story. It's another heartbreaker, and I don't know what's going to happen, but obviously his career is going to be over. It's very unfortunate.
Is that so? Is this going to cause him to go directly to jail, or what are we talking?
He's been arrested, and the penalty in Las Vegas is 6 to 20 years for vehicular homicide by DUI.
Wow,
Mess.
I knew it was bad, but I didn't hear the details. So this is shocking to me. It's sad to think that he will never play another down in the NFL. I'm not sure if we can definitively say that for sure, because let the legal situation play out. Maybe in a couple of years he gets another chance. I don't know. But for the time being, he's out. That's really sad. But what's worse is his stupidity led to the death of another person. Because you have, like Tony, you were very eloquent and it was well spoken. So I don't want to step on your toes. But I totally agree with you, man. You're making multi-million dollars a year. Pay for an Uber. I know you got a homie that can pick you up.
They're so easy.
There's so many things you can do.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not like
why do you
cabs.
ever? You never should drive drunk.
Yeah.
If you have planned to drink, just have someone drive you there and drive you back, man. What is the problem, guys?
Yeah.
I'm not rich.
Say is what is he, 22, 23 years old? I think he's incredibly young. And I think back at myself when I was 32 years old. And
42.
Did I get wasted and go out driving around at 3 a.m? So there's really no excuse at the maturity level. But a lot of these kids, they make millions of dollars at a very young age, and sometimes they get out of control. And I wish there was more programs in the NFL or professional sports, which I hear there is, teaching these kids, hey, when you get your $50 million contract, helping them grow and mature in more ways than just learning a playbook. It's just such a sad, sad story.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I think I speak for all of us when we say our heart goes out to the family of that poor girl
Absolutely.
who died in the car crash. And it's just so needless. And while, it's sad to see a football player throw his life away, it's tragic that this poor person was driving along in Vegas at nighttime, and then
That's it.
Never making it home.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
That-
just quickly, if I could, to all professional players, nothing good happens after 1 a.m. ever. It's 3:30 in the morning, driving home drunk from Los. Nothing good. Just go home. Go home. Nothing good. Nobody's ever gone, man, I'm so glad I stayed out till 2. Oh, so good when I was so even more hungover. So blew all my money or did something really stupid. Nobody ever says, I'm glad I stayed out that late.
Well said, Johnny Ballgame. All right.
Fantasy Heroes and Zeros.
Sad note. Let's go to a happy note. Let's talk about
Let's pick this up a little bit. My God.
fantasy heroes and then some fantasy zeros.
Oh,
We're going to start with the good stuff, fantasy heroes. And we did not talk about this earlier today, so I have no idea who you guys have, nor do you know who I have. Let's just roll with it. Who wants to start off with their fantasy hero today?
And I got one.
All right,
wait.
Johnny.
All right, I'll do it first. Mike White. If you had Dak Prescott and you went, I need a quarterback, he's probably not going to play, and Mike White was the only dude, you probably considered just going with no quarterback. But Mike White, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, caught a pass for a 2-point. Yeah, he threw a couple of picks, but he was the highest ranking fantasy player of the week. Hero.
Didn't he miss some time in that game too?
Yeah, not long though.
Just a couple plays, but he looked like he was going to be out. And then the third string quarterback came in, Johnson, right?
Yeah, Johnson.
And Mike White came back in and still just like lit it up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And against the Bengals.
I think
Good
the
defense.
They're the number 1 team.
Yeah.
I think the Bengals defense was like, okay, let's play dirty. Let's break this guy's legs. We can't stop him. I seriously I think they roughed him up. I think they got called on a penalty for it too, right? And he got hurt, and his ass is on the sideline going, put a towel on his face, rubbed off some sweat, did a couple stretches, came back in and kicked their ass. It was awesome. Give it to that kid.
Yeah.
Keep it going, Tony. Who's your fantasy hero?
I got about 80. I'm gonna go with Pittman. And also going to give you guys some credit because Pittman's starting to come on. He's starting to get the looks, starting to get the targets. T.Y. Hilton was playing and coming back in, and I was a little bit nervous. And you guys were like, dude, you got to start him. You got my back. And he kicked some ass, and he's looking good. He's looking like the Pittman we thought he would look like first week. Mm. And now him and Wentz are like this, man. Well, that's like butting heads. So they're like interlocked. There you go. And they're killing it. So that's my hero.
Nice.
Well played.
Nice.
I got a hero. TJ Hawkinson. We already talked about him. Came through with 10 catches for 89 yards. Now in our league, 10 catches get you a little 5-point bonus. So he actually had a really good game. And I needed that. He helped me out quite a bit. So he is my fantasy hero this week. Thank God. It's been a while for that guy. I was starting to doubt him. But way to come through, buddy. Royce, who you got?
He was a number one tight end for you, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
This week. Najee Harris. Every game he's picking it up. He ran 26 times, 91 yards, had a touchdown. He also caught the ball 3 times for 29. I mean, those aren't crazy numbers, but
you'll take them.
It was 20 points in my Yahoo league.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch a Pittsburgh game and you can stay awake, and watch this guy. I mean, he's not explosive. He doesn't have that Derrick Henry yet, but it's there. I think, when he's going to get past that front line, he's going to explode.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Poop about this earlier today. We're just so afraid he's going down that Derrick Henry road. He's getting a ton of work. I know he's a rookie. Yeah. I mean, that's why you don't take value in running backs, or you shouldn't. So I'm happy to have him. I'm happy that, he's a workhorse. I mean, it's great for us.
2 years from now, though.
Yeah, he's going to break both feet. And
2 years from now, he's going to be Todd Gurley.
But for right now, I mean, other than Deontay Johnson, that's the only 2 people you should be starting on the Steelers, really. So he had a nice. It wasn't a crazy glorified game, but he got the work and got the point. So it's fun to watch. John,
give me a second fantasy hero.
Talked about him a little bit earlier. His name's AJ, last name Brown. 10 catches, 55 yards, had a 57-yard touchdown that was just beautiful. I mean, honest to God, that guy, and he's just so tough. Like, he does it the tough way. He's not just always streaking down the sideline. That guy catches passes over the middle. He's been one of my favorites this whole time. I was a little upset with him in the beginning of the year, but man, he's healing up. He's healing up. Looks great.
Yep, he does. He looks fantastic. All right, Tony, what do you got?
I'm going with the other Herbert, not in San Diego, but Chicago. His numbers were not outstanding. But
you mean LA, buddy?
I mean, I said it the other way around. My bad. Yeah. So I think he had like 72 yards or something. But man, I love that kid. And he is a hero for me, and I'm looking forward to his future. I know Montgomery's a badass, but man, you got a good combo there and 2 massive running backs.
I miss Montgomery.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's awesome too. What are you going to do with those 2 guys? Love them.
That's going to be an issue, Johnny, because Montgomery's not going to be the hammer anymore. He's going to be splitting carries.
You stop it right now. Everybody said that with Pollard and Zeke too.
It's still the San Diego Chargers, by the way. That's all I'm saying.
It seems like it. The fan base, it sure smells like San Diego.
That's the way it feels here anyway. That's the way it feels in LA.
The fan base is actually still down in San Diego. That's why nobody's
Yeah. There was a fan base? I didn't know that. All right. Guys, I want you to guess who my second fantasy hero is. Just take a freaking guess. Come on, guys.
CeeDee Lamb, Metcalf.
I didn't play CeeDee Lamb because I was afraid Dak wasn't going to play, which he didn't. So
Tom Brady.
But I did play Debo.
Of course.
Of course. Debo, Samuel. almost got an 80-yard touchdown. Oh, he missed it by that much, but he comes through 6 for 171. Dude, every week, this guy's going over 100 yards.
He's awesome.
This guy's breaking long touchdowns. This guy, I mean, I just keep doubting him. And he's a starter the rest of the way. I can't take him out of the lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell no, you can't.
No.
No.
All right, Rice, who's your last fantasy hero?
I don't want to talk about it. Cooper Cup, and actually had a bad game. He only had 25 points. He's averaging 30 in the last 3 games. There's one game this year he hasn't had at least one touchdown. I don't want to talk about him anymore. I'm just mad I don't draft that guy.
Can I say something real quick about Debo,
Yes.
and then we'll come back to Cooper Cup?
No, you don't have to come back to Cooper Cup. That's fine.
He's the 4th receiver in fantasy right now. And the first 3 haven't had their bye week yet, and Debo has. All I'm saying is that guy maybe by the end of the year might be the number 1 receiver. Maybe after Cup. After Cup.
And just so everyone knows, none of us have Cooper Cup. We all hate the freaking guy.
I hate him
He's open all the time.
all the time.
No matter what happens, I've never seen anything in my life.
We hate him because he scores so much and we don't
It's
have
great.
him. Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah.
Yes.
I respect the talent, but he's not fast.
Mm-mm.
He doesn't have jukey moves.
Mm-mm.
How's he always open? I don't
He's
get
always
it.
open. Exactly. How is he
Okay.
always open? The defenses
Always.
don't scheme against him. I don't understand it.
Why not?
Makes no sense.
To get 2 guys on him, right? What, they worry about Bobby Trees? Please.
Why aren't these quote unquote shutdown corners not shadowing him and taking him out of the game? Where is this? Why does he not get that respect that say DK Metcalf gets, or Tyreek Hill or someone like that?
Or
This guy's
Adams,
the best. Yeah, this guy's the best receiver in football right now. Where are the shadows and the double teams?
Cover him.
Where are they?
Cover him.
Van Jefferson just blew right by everyone. He's open right now
Yeah.
because Cooper Cup was covered for point.
They were so worried about Deshaun Jackson that they weren't able to cover him.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
insane.
Oh, boy.
It's crazy.
All right, now we got to talk about the fantasy zeros. I'm gonna start it off because I'm a little upset. You know how we talk about those games where the guy gets hurt? Can you at least get us like some pointage before you get hurt? James Robinson said, "No, son." He got 4 carries, 22 yards, made a catch, and then got hurt, and he was done for the game. He's fine. He's gonna play next week, but dude, if you were fine, why didn't you finish that game and give me more points?
Exactly.
He's my 0. Royce, who you got?
This guy's either great one week and then terrible the next. So next week, well, actually he has COVID right now, so maybe he won't be good next week. Noah Fant, two catches for 8 yards. He had more points with his catches than he did with his yards. in PPR. That's terrible. And ball game, I know you hate him, but I agree. He just disappears.
It's not Christmas.
He proves me right. He proves me right every time.
It's not Christmas, guys.
Maybe COVID will, put a,
I'm sure
bolt
it'll
on
make
his
him feel better.
backside.
So he'll probably miss a week with COVID. If not, he'll probably be limited. We'll see. But
You
when
can't-
December rolls around, he's gonna pick it up. You watch.
I hope so. Well,
Santa Claus.
In a 14-team league that I'm in, I can't bench him, right?
No,
I
you
don't have
can't.
anybody else, so
No,
it's
you
frustrating though.
Hey, is
All
Dan Arnold available, Royce?
No.
No.
It's
one's
14
available.
teams, dude. There's not gonna be much.
nobody's
on
available.
There's
Yeah.
no one's available. dude.
Yeah.
Tony,
Is,
give me
Is Tony Brooks available? Because the next best tight end.
Tony's available, and he's
Only
gonna give us. He's gonna give us a 0 right now. Who you got?
I'm being a little unfair, but I'm saying it because I needed points out of him. And I'm blaming him, but Jerry Jeudy. Now he's been injured. He's on a weird squad. I got to give him a couple weeks, but man, I could have just used a couple more catches out of that dude. But the hardest part, and this is really stupid, but I benched Lockett for him.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Understandable.
Lockett
I know, it's
has
understandable.
He looks at all, and all of a sudden,
hasn't.
another one of those 140 yards or whatever. I'm like,
Yep.
come on, man. But Jerry Judy's my 0 this week.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on the same team for my 0. Cortland Sutton,
Sutton.
2 catches, 40 yards. Who did Bridgewater throw to? It wasn't Fant. It wasn't
Wasn't fan.
and it wasn't Sutton. Who did he throw to?
Patrick this time, like 50 or 60 yards.
Patrick.
Oh, Patrick had some points. Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Why can't we get a little Sutton? I don't understand.
Thank you. No Sutton there?
Nothing.
Son of a bitch.
Got the weapons. Denver has the weapons, right? Is it the quarterback? I don't get it. I mean, you put any of those guys on any other team, I assume they're gonna produce. It's just I don't understand.
I just don't think they're a very good offense overall. They haven't been for years.
But they've got tools.
They have, yeah. That's the
Has
frustrating part.
Talent.
If they had like
Coaching.
Dak Prescott, Kyler Murray, I'll even take Kyler Murray at this point. That's how
Wow.
frustrated I am. Put Kyler Murray on that team. That team is a possible Super Bowl contender.
Not with the schemes they
Two
run.
good running backs, 3 great receivers, a pretty good tight end who could be a great tight end. I just don't get it.
Yeah, defense is decent.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't Miller now. But
Speaking of defenses, I have a fantasy 0, and it's a freaking defense. It pissed me off. The Chicago Bears. They completely let me down. They're playing the freaking 49ers. Last week, the 49ers, crapped the bed. Garoppolo turned the ball over left and right. This week, they play the Bears, and they freaking kill them. 33 points, 467 yards. Garoppolo runs in 2 like he's freaking, Josh Allen. And they got no sacks, no turnovers. I got negative 10 points because our defense takes the hit if you give up 30 points. They're not a fantasy 0, bro. They're a fantasy negative.
Yeah, they are.
All right, Royce, what do you got?
Next one, Mike Williams again. Here we go. The roller coaster. I mean,
He's back.
Patriots defense was tough. I'll give them that. But they put points up. 2 catches for 27 yards. That just sucks. He was the man. I mean, Allen got a lot of looks in this game, so maybe I don't know. They were showering him more.
He got Belichick, bro.
You got Belichick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Belichick.
he did. His name was big in big letters on their board during the week and said, "Cover this guy, and we'll win." And it worked. I mean, look at it, worked. So it's frustrating though.
Tony, what do you got for your fantasy 0?
Again, Dalvin Cook. He wasn't god awful, but he killed me though.
Yeah.
And Dallas was tough. You gotta hand it to him. But it's like, come on. I'm so frustrated this week. But yeah, Dalvin Cook's another 0 for me this week. So
John, is Sir Poops a lot on Suicide Watch?
it feels like it, man.
It looks like he's about to.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Tony, there's people who can help. There's phone lines. We'll get you some numbers.
We're here for you, bro.
Yeah.
For you. Yeah.
The audience is here for you, bro.
At least the Bengals had
Where did
the.
I go, bro?
At least the Bengals had the Jets this week. Was that? Oh, what happened? Oh.
thanks, man. You are a horrible, horrible human being. My ass is bleeding. Come on.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
get that.
I got my last 0. First of all, I want a disclaimer. I have no shares of this guy in any league. He was so awesome for me last year, but I never drafted a guy that did amazing for me the year before because he never does good. So I said, I'm not drafting Justin Jefferson. I won't do it. I don't think he's going to have as good a year this year. 2 catches, 21 yards. That's bad enough, right? That's bad. It's 4 points. Let's take a negative point off in our league because he threw a pass that was incomplete. He had 3 points. Congratulations.
Oh, that's great.
Congratulations, Justin. 3.1 points. You really knocked it out.
Oh, it'd been funny if it was intercepted.
I know. He could have had negative.
You got a negative point. Oh, that's funny.
I have just one more that I want to add in there. I don't have any shares of him either, but I wanted to mention it. OBJ comes up small yet again, and then his dad tweets
Yes.
a video of all the times that the ball wasn't thrown to OBJ, just to rub it in a little more. And he didn't get traded. The trade deadline has passed. He didn't get traded. This is bad.
No one wants him.
Nobody wants him.
He's a cancer.
Dinged up. He's a cancer.
Was it LeBron that said he's tweeted out free OBJ?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
fun.
if you want to be free, go home. There you go. Be free.
It's a
Fly home.
situation. He is open a lot, though. It's like he's not even getting looks.
His dad wasn't wrong. He was open a lot.
He
The
was.
video did show he's open. Maybe we could. Yeah.
Poor guy. He must be a complete turd. Really. Like he must
Really,
be
yeah.
just an ass or something because
Yeah.
he seems healthy right now or well, mediocre. He's getting open. He should be able to hold on to a pass. Oh well.
All right.
Burning questions.
I do have a burning question for you guys. We were talking about this guy earlier, and I want to get into a nice little discussion about this. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. Something's missing. They got the win, but it was ugly. Patrick Mahomes was very pedestrian yet again. His stats are going down each and every week. He's turning the ball over a lot, and he did it again. Is it simply that they're missing a number 2 wide receiver? What do we think is the problem? Is it Andy Reid being too cute with his offense? I want to start with you, John. What's nagging the Chiefs?
Man, I watched that whole game last night, and I kept asking myself that too. Their line is young. Like they've got 2 top draft picks on that line. So it's not much better than it was last year. It's going to be a lot better next year, right? So the guy that left last year in COVID to go be a doctor during COVID and all that stuff, he was back. He just got traded away. So they're not planning on putting those folks back in. So part of it is a lot of people are in Mahomes' face. Part of it is there's years of tape on this guy. So they're playing it too high because he doesn't play well against that defense. So they're going, all right, well, he doesn't play against that defense. Let's play it more often. I don't know why more defensive coordinators don't do that, but they all seem to be doing that this year. You put pressure on him. He makes silly mistakes still, right? We've all marveled at the fun plays that he plays, but this year he's like a step slower and he's not making them as fast as he was making them, and people are picking him off. Also, his receivers aren't helping him. They're not catching the ball. I mean, I just watched the team. I'm like, this can't be an Andy Reid coach team. It's a sloppy, ugly team. It's not even enjoyable to watch anymore. And I used to love to watch Chiefs games, and I was bored by them yesterday.
Tony, what do you think? What's ailing the Chiefs?
I also don't think they're mixing it up enough. They're not they're not changing it up. They're doing the same crap play after play. And I think that there's some arrogance involved. They're like, oh, we got Mahomes, so just let him do his thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, these teams are going to catch on, just like they do with every quarterback. So he has the talent to run circles around you, absolutely. But if he's going to keep doing the same crap, it's like, oh, here we go. He's going to throw with his left hand. I mean, we know what he's going to do now. So you Reid or somebody. I think they need to add some plays. And Chuck, all you guys bring up a good point about the receiving cores. It's kind of. Yeah, you could use somebody else in there. And I thought maybe Gordon would be the guy to sort of offset it and, freak out.
He didn't get a target yesterday. Not even a target.
Didn't he have – what was that first pick? I remember seeing Gordon standing there like in the end zone, I thought, when they gave up that first interception. But I don't know if
the guy they were throwing to?
No, it hit someone else in the helmet. It was either Nicole Hardman or Pringle, one of those two. Hit him in the face mask, but it wasn't intended for him. It was intended for, I believe, Robinson. He didn't go get it. Then the ball hit off the helmet, went straight in the air, and it got picked off.
Yeah.
They gotta make some changes. Yeah.
But here's my thing too about them. They actually ran the ball great last night. They didn't have enough, but they got that one kid that was in there.
Gore,
no relation.
No relation.
And even Williams looked good.
Yeah, Williams had 60 or 70 in passing yards.
Yeah.
Catches, that is.
So I think Sammy Watkins leaving is a little bit of a hindrance for Mahomes. I don't think it's the main reason. It's just another. It's like everyone else had to step up
Security
a notch.
blanket.
Yeah, it was a security blanket, but now they're trying to put Nicole Football is hard man in that role. He doesn't cut it, and then they're taking Pringle and moving him into Nicole Hardman's role, and it's just like this domino effect. These guys aren't quite cutting it as that next guy up. But we did talk about this earlier. Who did we think the Chiefs were going to get traded to? No, we thought Deshaun Jackson. Royce, good call. I think Deshaun Jackson would be the perfect fit for the Chiefs. I think that's a good call, man. What do you think, John? You think that could happen?
I think it could happen. He's available.
Rice is your
Yeah, I just seem like the best fit. I just need a guy who could just sprint down the field, and I swear it'll open everything up.
I agree.
everybody else.
Deshaun Jackson can still do it, and he's smart. He's a veteran. It's exactly what the Chiefs need. It's exactly what they need. I think it can happen.
Okay. Now I'm thinking about quitting the fucking show. Excuse my language. I have to use that. Since there's a possibility he could go to the Chiefs, now you guys like his ass? Oh, but you know what?
Yeah.
You got the right team. He's more of a decoy, is what you're saying. That's why he'd be good there.
Yeah.
The Rams don't need a decoy. The Chiefs could use somebody that could be a speedster going downfield because they're like, oh shit, Tyreek. You know, where's everybody else? And then you got Deshaun way down on the goal line.
Rams have 3 extremely talented wide receivers ahead of them. The Chiefs do not. They have 1 receiver that's talented ahead of Deshaun.
I agree.
Jackson can get more looks, more plays out there, more snaps. And yeah, he'll probably be a decoy. All he's doing is taking the guy on the opposite side of the field of Tyreek Hill and taking him deep, taking him out of the play. That opens up the middle of the field. Guess who? Kelsey.
Oh.
Robinson.
Can I say something about Tyreek Hill?
Mm-hmm.
I used to think he was kind of a gadget, kind of a one-note wide receiver. I'm so impressed with that guy this year, man. I mean, I know he's had a couple of drops that turn into interceptions, but he's earning every – like you watched that game last night. It was all underneath routes. It was all crossing routes, getting hit a lot. He's a complete receiver now. He's not just a gadgety guy, I think. I'm impressed with him this year. That's all.
Yep.
Does anybody else have any other thoughts on the Chiefs?
In there.
Kelsey's the one that is confusing. I was kind of watching him. Something's not right there either because he does get double teamed from time to time. He's got good guys on him, but that hasn't mattered in the past.
Right.
It didn't matter. He was always able to get the ball, and he's struggling. So that the dynamic between him and Mahomes is a big concern, and it's confusing. I have no idea what's happening.
So, Poop, I think you're absolutely right. And my opinion is because Mahomes is struggling this year and he's had so many picks, before he wouldn't care. He would drill it into Kelsey, whether he was double teamed or not. And Kelsey would make that catch. But now he's been intercepted so many times and people are on him so much about it. I don't think he's making those tough throws now because he's so worried about getting intercepted again.
Being timid.
That's my opinion on that.
I said at the beginning of the year, I'm going to stick to it. Kelsey's a year older. He's a little bit more banged up than he was last year. He's getting that physical abuse, getting hit over the middle. It's finally taking its toll. I mean, this can only go on for so long. I think he's 34 now. And for tight ends, that's pretty old. I predicted that he would be slightly not quite as good as he was. And I think that's what's happening here. Or it could just be that they need that wide receiver too to open up the field a little bit more. Maybe that's all it is. But we'll see. Kelsey's still your number 1 tight end, so it's not that big a deal. He just had a bad game last night. He had a fumble, but he's been pretty solid. John, you're looking up something?
I'm looking to see where he actually is in the rankings.
He's the tight end 1 still. He's still the number 1 guy.
Yep, sure is.
Yeah, but it's not quite as good as last year.
Number 2. Hawkins is number 3.
Yeah.
Number 4, who I've been touting. Pitts, Waller, Knox. Waller's really the more disappointing one of all of those groups. But
Waller is like
are having a great year.
Ghost.
To be honest with each other. None of them. And since week 4, which is what I always like to look at, I always like to look halfway through the season. Now let's look who's number 1. And I will tell you, it's Mark Andrews. Then Uzoma is number 2.
Uzoma.
3, Uzoma. Yeah. No, Uzama.
I don't. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And then
who gives a shit?
Knox. Yeah, exactly.
There's a nickname.
That guy.
Yeah. Who gives a shit? And guess what? I'm looking for Kelsey's number 6.
Yeah.
So that ain't right.
He's a little banged up. That's all it is.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Fantasy Sports Island Mid-Season Fantasy Awards.
Now, we're halfway through the season. 8 weeks in the books. 8 to go.
Yes.
At the halfway point, we like to pick our fantasy awards. And each one of us was tasked with picking our fantasy MVP for the halfway point, our fantasy comeback player of the year, our fantasy rookie of the year, and of course, we have to be negative and talk about the fantasy bust of the year. So, which one would you guys like to do first? Which sounds the most fun to start off with?
Go with bust first.
Let's go with bust first because we get the
Negative and
negative
work
out
our
of the
way
way.
to, yeah.
Yeah. John, start us off. Who is your fantasy bust of the year?
We all talked about him. We loved this guy at the beginning. Oh, we couldn't wait to draft him. We were going to draft him. We had shares of him on multiple teams. Just couldn't wait. This guy was going to be so good. He ended last year was fantastic. His name is Brandon freaking Ayuk.
Who? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ayuk. First half fantasy bust.
Ayuk, the roof is not on fire.
Number one on my list.
So I'll go to you, Tony. Is he also your fantasy bust of the year?
I can give you a number 2 on my list, but he's my number 1.
Well, you are poop, so you should give us a number 2.
Well, wait till the rest of us go, and then if we don't name your guy, then bring him up. Okay?
Okay.
Sound fair? All right.
Fair.
Who did you have, Royce, as your fantasy bust of the year?
This is ball game. This is for ball game. Allen Robinson.
Oh, you took my guy.
He is the wide receiver of 59 right now.
And you had to spend fourth round capital to get
He,
him.
in most leagues, in 12-man leagues, he was the 12th wide receiver off the board.
Yeah.
Ouch. That's all I got to say about that.
Look,
I do have a by the way, I have an honorable mention too, but go ahead with your.
All right. I just want to say, if you drafted Allen, he's robbing you, son.
Yeah, he is.
It's not free. All right. Who do you got as your? I want to start with Tony because he had a guy that was second. Who's your little runner up?
Well, now I got a number 3.
All right. So Allen Robinson was your 2 bust. Who's your 3rd bust?
Number 3 right now is Claypool.
Yeah.
I was very, very high on Claypool. I love that kid. And you guys remember I called Claypool and Johnson to be, top 20, top 15 together. Like both of them would be up there.
Yeah.
And we can
That was your
blame
hot take. That's right.
we can blame Roethlisberger all we want. So we're gonna blame Roethlisberger because Claypool is talented.
The big hen gets all the blame.
Yep.
All right, John, who did you have?
I got one that's not been mentioned as my number 2, actually. Robinson was my number 3. 2, and let me first off start by saying mental health is nothing to mess with. And I thought,
Oh boy.
Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Draft capital that I had to spend to get that young man was in the 3rd round. I had to pick him in the 3rd round.
Cool.
He's now not playing. I don't know if you guys heard. Maybe you missed that. He's not playing, and probably not for the rest of the year. And so when he did play, wasn't that good. Not that memorable. I spent 9 years of my life on that man, or 9 weeks of my life, not 9 years, but
Felt like 9 years.
It felt like 9 years.
Yeah.
We didn't bring up this in the news and notes, but just so everyone knows, Calvin Ridley has decided to step away from the game. He's having mental issues, and he needs to refocus on his life. And I wish him the best. And
Me too.
we could make fun of him and make jokes, but I figured it's not tasteful to do that. I have dealt with people that have had mental illness in their life, and it's a tough thing, man. And I really want him to get well. I'm not going to make fun of him. He's been to fantasy disappointment, and yeah, he could be your fantasy bust. And we'll just leave it at that. And we hope he gets well.
Me too. Again, I really hope he gets well, and I have nothing but mad love for people who are going through something, and they know that about themselves, and they go and fix it. But that doesn't stop him from being a fantasy bust.
Yeah. All right. Fun stuff. I think we're all going to have the same guy, but let's see. Let's just see. Let's do our fantasy rookie of the year for the halfway point. I'm going to start with you, Tony. I'll let you steal the thunder. Who do you got?
I think I'm going to go with, I don't know, I got a bunch of guys. Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Guys, money. And I think he's going to keep going too. I mean, Sunday was like his worst game and it was still decent. So, yeah, he's awesome.
John, who is your rookie of the year?
Jamar Chase.
Royce, who is your rookie of the year?
Oh, that Chase guy.
Yeah.
Who's that? That Chase guy.
Never heard of it.
Good.
I went with a kicker for my rookie. No. I went with Jamar Chase. I mean, let's be real. This guy.
I will say this: Najee Harris is a nice honorable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
He
It's
is.
number
he,
2.
he was number
Yeah.
2 for me. Was Harris.
Yeah,
Same here. Obviously, he's a good runner-up, but there's no doubt Jamar Chase has made the biggest impact on his team for a rookie,
Absolutely.
and he surprised the hell out of all 4 of us. No
Yeah,
doubt about
Sure
it.
did. Sure
He
did.
did.
None of us were. All of us
Yeah.
thought he was being overdrafted.
Yeah, we didn't talk about him at all. The only thing we talked about in preseason was he couldn't catch the ball.
Right.
Yeah, and he couldn't get separation. Remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Nope.
No,
We
just
were
wrong.
wrong.
All right. Comeback player of the year. This is a guy that wasn't very good last year, or maybe was hurt or whatever, and this year he's exploded. Who is your comeback player of the year? I'm gonna start with you, Royce.
That's easy. Cordell Patterson.
Ah,
7 touchdowns total. It's just Henry has more. It's 10. He's a true flex. You can play a wide receiver or running back. He gets touches. He runs with his hair on fire. He actually makes Atlanta football fun to watch. So he was not talked about at any leagues, at any parties, or any meetings I was in until he just kind of exploded back on the scene. And good for him. Found a home, and they found a way to use him. It's fun. So
That's
he's
a
my
good one.
comeback guy. Yeah.
Tony, who's your comeback player of the year so far in fantasy?
Same. Patterson. I mean, he's never been like tremendous though. So he's sort of like the surprise player of the year.
Yeah.
He's shown talent. He's shown speed. He's shown brute. Like, I don't know. He had some nice punt returns and stuff in Minnesota and a couple catches here and there. But now he's, hey, better late than never. It's his time to shine. It's working for him in Atlanta.
No doubt. Johnny, who'd you have comeback player of the year?
Little fellow, you might have heard of him. His name's Dakota Preston. Or Prescott. Dak.
You don't even know his name.
I know. It's a Preston. Whatever. I was concentrating on Dakota.
Dakota
Dak
Rain Prescott? Okay.
Dak Prescott was, I don't know if you guys heard last year. He was injured.
True.
He was out. The team showed that, oh, shit, we do need him. Oh, shoot, we do need him. And so you see what he's doing this year. And he doesn't have to pile everybody on his back the whole time, but putting up great fantasy numbers still. And, I think he's the comeback player of the year.
All right. I'm happy that you guys didn't mention my comeback player of the year, who's also mostly hurt last year. And no, I'm not talking about Raheem Mostert. I'm talking about his teammate, Deebo Samuel. Who the hell thought that we were all on Ayuk?
Yeah.
I picked Deebo like in the 10th round because what the hell, Deebo, he was pretty good last year when he played. But did I expect this? Hell no. Deebo is the number 1 wide receiver behind Cooper Kupp. He's number 2 actually in points per game. And I think by the end of the year, if this continues, he could be number 1, like John said. I mean, who'd have thought? He's got to be comeback player of the year for me.
Oh,
I have an honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
Joey Burrow.
Yeah.
Injured most of the last year. It's
Yeah.
kind of incredibly serviceable. Mostly a starting quarterback for fantasy.
That's a
AJ
good one.
Green, besides the
AJ.
back turn non-catch. Other than that, he's been pretty efficient.
Yeah.
That he has. I got another one, and I hate this guy. Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been really, really good. He's top 5 running back.
Mhm.
Nobody thought that was going to happen. Well,
Royce, you got another one? Because I got one more.
No, go ahead.
Carr.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah.
When
Yeah.
last year, people were dropping him. He wasn't on most teams last year. This year, he's having a fantastic year.
Yes.
that he is.
I got one kind of a non-fantasy. Well, he doesn't help many people, but I really like that kid, the tackle in Detroit, Penei Sewell. Sewell, right? I'm not joking. The kid. Now it's Detroit. I know it makes no difference on anybody's squad, but he's had to step up, and he has actually helped that line tremendously. And the reason I say it is when they played the Rams, it was very impressive. Like, he looked confident. He was yelling at the other players. You guys are dicks, man. Okay, I just like him. Okay.
I know, but it's comeback player of the year. He didn't play last year.
No.
He
I
was
brought
in
it because
college.
because I meant to say rookie. I forgot a rookie that I wanted to mention.
Oh,
Not a comeback.
gotcha.
Okay.
So it should be a comeback line of the year. The
Okay,
Detroit
that's
Lions.
better. That's better. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sorry, rookie.
Oh,
Let's not talk about Lions in any awards.
Yeah.
I like the guard on the Jets. Last year,
Okay.
good.
Yeah, that was
Let's
awesome.
do the most entertaining part of this, which is your fantasy halfway point MVP. This is the guy on, maybe it's not the number one scoring guy in fantasy football. Maybe it's the guy you have, but it's your fantasy MVP. I'm gonna start with you, John. Who is your fantasy MVP?
I'm here because he is, for the first half, the MVP, in my opinion. He won't end up being the MVP because he's having foot surgery had foot surgery today. Derrick Henry. I don't think anybody means more to their team than that guy. And we're about to find out, right? But Tony said it best, like, as a football fan, you're just bummed that you don't get to watch that guy for the rest of the year. Like, as a football historian, like, I really love like the records and I love like all that stuff that goes with it. And I thought we were watching history this year because he really had a shot at making 2,000-yard seasons in a row. If anybody was ever going to do it, was going to be that guy. So I'm bummed for it. He had a freaking unbelievable year. I actually wrote down Derrick Henry, may he rest in peace, because this is the last accolades we're going to be able to give him. But yeah.
Tony, who is your fantasy MVP?
I have to say, I mean, I'm going the backup punter in Miami, dude. The guy has been, no kidding. You can't. I'm going to give my number two. I'm jumping ahead. I agree. It's definitely Henry. And I hate to say this, but Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is a strong candidate for MVP.
Oh, yeah.
I think. I know you guys all want to vomit right now, but it is.
There's no doubt about it. If you drafted him, he's your fantasy MVP. No doubt about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Royce, who is your fantasy MVP?
I had Henry too, and Cup was up there, but Chuck, you probably have the same guy. It's got to be Josh Allen, right? Again, he's number one quarterback this week. I think it's 3 weeks out of 8. The number one quarterback out of how many teams in the league? 30, 32?
32.
Yeah, in that game at halftime against Miami, we're like, come on, Josh, what's going on? It was like 3-3 at half. And all of a sudden he's like, all right, you guys need some points. All right, I'll take care of it. Just hold on. A little hungover. I'll get to it. And then he went crazy. So, and I have him. I know Chuck, you do too. But he's like Henry was. He's fun to watch, man. He's just a big white boy running around with his hair on fire, throwing the ball, running the ball. I mean, he's fun, and he's got a good team, so it helps too. So, yeah, number one for me.
Okay, so my fantasy MVP was Josh Allen. It's pretty simple. In week 2, I made a trade. I traded away Aaron Rodgers, and I traded away Austin Eckler, and I got back James Robinson and Allen. And the reason why I did the trade was because that's how high I was on Josh Allen. And since that trade, Josh Allen has been the number one quarterback in fantasy football. And I think that continues. He's been absolutely amazing. And like Royce says, like 3 of the last 5 weeks, he's been the number one quarterback in fantasy football. That's really hard to do. If you look back, everyone, like Dak Prescott and Tom Brady and all these guys, they have great weeks all the time. No doubt about it. But they don't have the best quarterback, the best fantasy score in fantasy football 3 times in 5 weeks. That is insane. The man is doing it, and he is my fantasy MVP.
And he came dressed up as Phil Mickelson. You guys see that?
Yeah, that was funny.
That
was
random,
clever.
but great. Yeah, had a good sense of humor.
Did we have any other honorable mentions for fantasy MVP?
Actually, Debo.
I thought about that.
Destroying it, man. I mean, he is absolutely destroying it. I had Debo, and I think I had. Actually, I'm sorry, I have to say this. He didn't have the best week,
Penei Sewell.
Sewell and Brady. I mean, Brady, you still got to consider him. He's still having a hell of a year.
Yeah.
I don't have any shares of Tom Brady, but if I did, he would definitely be up there in fantasy MVPs. I mean, no doubt about it. Also, a guy that is kind of like a fantasy MVP for me. I got stuck having to play him, what I thought was stuck having to play him several times. And every time he's come through, and that's Damian Harris. Damian Polaris, the star in the making. Every week he's getting a touchdown. Every week. At least the weeks that I play him. He's been fantastic.
Yeah. We liked him though, right? I mean, we all kind of went, oh yeah, he's gonna, and now he's
liked
actually
him.
fill that. Yeah. Starting to fill that.
Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler.
There's only one segment left. Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler. Last week, 1 and 2. Really, Royce?
Came back to earth a little bit. But
he's still 9-7 and 1 on the year. So if you rolled with Royce all year, you're still up. You're in the money. How many picks you got this week, Royce?
Three-teamer. We're doing 3.
3 more. All right.
Trifecta.
It's going down. Let's go.
Again, these are off the cuff. Tuesday, it's hard to do these picks. I obviously like to do them closer to kickoff. Weather, injuries, girlfriend's leaving, wife.
Stop making excuses,
pregnant.
Royce.
Okay. Dallas minus 9.5. Home against Denver. Denver was terrible last week, but they did play Washington, but they only won by 7. And if Dak's back, I like a big game from him. 31-13. I like the Ravens at home against the Vikings. The Vikings were poo. They're given 5.5, and I think they'll cover that easily with Ravens coming off a bye. 34-17. And Poop, this is for you. I was making fun of you earlier. I feel bad, but I want to make it up right now, okay?
The Lions are going to take it?
Bengals minus 2.5 against your Cleveland Browns. Love the Bengals. Only give them 2.5. They're at home. They laid an egg against the Jets, but they scored a hell out of points. Cleveland cannot move the ball to save their lives right now. Mayfield's hurt. Chubb's a little banged up, but he's playing. You don't have Hunt. I don't know what's going on with OBJ. Landry can't catch the ball. And here's an interesting fact I found out for you. The Cleveland Browns are 0-8 when Tony Romo does their games. And guess who's doing their games Sunday?
Tony Romo.
That's what I'm going with. It's the Romo.
That is a deep statistic.
It's the Romo experience. So I love the Bengals. Poop 24-20.
Wow.
Give it to me. What number 1?
Dallas minus 9.5 home against Denver.
Number 2.
The Ravens minus 5.5 at home against the Vikings.
And
the Bengals minus 2.5 at home against the Browns.
There you go, folks. Lay it down. Go to your bookies.
Put it down.
Yes. Lay it all down. Let Royce cook.
I agree with every one of those, Royce.
Oh, God, I'm in trouble.
Yep. Yep. Because I am not a good gambler.
Hey.
No, you are. You good last week? You love the Packers, right? You love the Packers. Yeah.
Guys, the last time Royce didn't do well, what happened? Came back the next week
undefeated.
That's right.
True.
That's true.
It's going to go 3-0, guys. Mark it down.
It's like a Romo thing.
Love the Romo thing.
This is
he's
not
basically
advice.
He's the Stephon Diggs of this group. Every other week he does great.
Every other week. This is the week.
Yeah.
Or a lock. Don't try to lock it, right? Yeah, basically.
All right, guys. We're going to keep it short this evening. I've had a long day of travels. I'm tired. And Tony, you got to go to work. Johnny looks tired. We're going to call it a quit for the evening. We hope you had a good time tonight.
Bryce is already in bed.
Already in bed. I want to thank you, Rolls Royce, for another good show, and thank you for your picks. I want to thank Johnny Ballgame. Excellent commentary yet again.
Thanks, brother.
And really well put info tonight. I thought you were on point, Tony. Sir Poops a lot. Thank you very much. Your commentary was fantastic tonight. Very, very intelligent conversations we had tonight. I think it was a good show. Thank you again. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell because we do this every week. And we'll be back for week 10 next week. As the season has finally hit that halfway point, we look forward to an exciting second half. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy the football games. Aloha.
Thanks, Reaper.
Thanks, guys.
And real quick, everyone, next week we'll break down the top 5 tackles coming out of college for this year's draft.
I'm going to do it then.
And the to say to you. Emma's got the bitches lining up.
Join us next week for some more Johnny Ballgame Elmo impressions on Fantasy Sports Island.